plan for today's video was to show you guys my TBR, like show you the books that I have in my TBR, but I decided not to because honestly the whole point of the TBR challenge is not knowing where the books are, and if I show you guys all the books that I have in my TBR, I'm gonna know which books I have in my TBR. I hope that made sense, but basically that video is not gonna happen anytime soon because yeah, that's the reason. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, hi, I'm Isa, and I am doing a to be read challenge where I read books from my physical TBR, but basically my bookshelf has like all the books turned over, so I don't even know which books I have in my bookshelf. So I thought that I would do a reading vlog for you guys because today is Friday, but today I'm going to read a book also from my TBR technically, but it's not part of the series because I'm not like choosing it randomly, but I don't know if I'm gonna put it in the series. Maybe I will, I don't know, whatever. So I'm gonna read The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. You guys know that I loved The Ex-Hex, which is her other book, and I got this book for Book of the Month, and they have it right now. You can put it as an add-on. I definitely recommend this, and the cover is so pretty, and I love how Book of the Month books are like really tall. I don't know, I love it. Not sponsored, by the way. I'm just really excited to read this book. So that is basically what I'm gonna do for this video. So also I know that I can finish this book today because it's not that long, like it has 300 pages, which in the grand scheme of things and the other books that I read, it's not that long. So yeah, so I have my coffee here that matches the vibe, and we're gonna start reading. I know that Erin Sterling's books are, The Ex-Hex was a third-person book, like a narrative, so I don't know if this one is also gonna be a narrative. Let me see real quick. This is also a third-person book, just so you guys know, and I have no idea what this book is about. Okay, so the main character is this girl called Gwen. So Gwen is a witch, and she goes to like a college for witches. So the college is called Penhaven College. That is actually the prologue, so I just read the prologue. And okay, really important, the prologue is 13 years ago. So you get a mini introduction of 13 years ago in Penhaven College. So that's really important. Like with the other book, with The Ex-Hex, she also started the book with like, I don't remember if it was a story of like 12 years ago and then it jumps to 12 years later. And that's basically what's happening here. So technically now chapter 1 starts 13 years later, and that was just a little story. Oh, okay, don't judge me, but I knew the name Gwen felt really felt really familiar. Let me explain. So The Ex-Hex basically is about Vivi, and Vivi has a cousin named Gwen. So this book is about Gwen, the cousin. So the timeline. You probably do want to read the first book, which is The Ex-Hex, before you read this one, because you do get a lot of characters that appear in The Ex-Hex in this book, so you may be like, what? I don't understand. So yeah, I would recommend reading The Ex-Hex. Of course. Okay, so this book is gonna be, so in The Ex-Hex, the main male character is Riz. And now this book is about Riz's brother. So we're going to the bookstore because I'm getting really distracted here. I'm having those days where I'm really stressed out and I think like there's just not enough minutes of my day for me to do everything that I have to do. I don't know if this is gonna help or not, but we're going to the bookstore, and am I the only one that walks really fast when they're stressed? I'm gonna have such a laugh watching these videos. This outfit is a vibe. Probably look really weird, but whatever. Let's go. I'm back in my apartment. I read until page 54. That's a lot for me. So, okay, let's do a little recap of basically what the book is about, because I think I can summarize it a little bit. As I said before, this book comes after the XX, and it's about Gwen. So Gwen is Vivi's cousin, and they're both witches. So they live in this town. So the story starts with Gwen and Vivi, and they go to the woods because they were told that someone was doing magic, and there was not someone was doing magic, but there was some type of magical thing happening, and there was kind of like a ghost. It seemed like a ghost in the woods. So they decided to go investigate and like see what was going on. So they go to the woods and they find 3 students that were actually like playing around with a spell, and they created this kind of like shadow looking ghost, but it's not a ghost. So that's basically separate to what happens, but they decide that they're going to teach students outside of the college how to use their magic and how to have fun with their magic. So kind of like Gwen and Vivi being like mentors. But I know I'm probably confusing you guys right now a lot. So I'm gonna read the synopsis of the story. It says, Gwen Jones is perfectly happy with her life in Graves Glen. She, her mom, and her cousin have formed a new and powerful coven. She's running a successful witchcraft shop, Something Wicked, and she's started mentoring some of the younger witches in town, the students. As Halloween approaches, there's only one problem: Wells' pen halo. Wells has come to Graves Glen to re-establish his family's connection to the town they founded and to make a new life for himself after years of being the dutiful son in Wells. When he opens up a shop of his own, Pen Halos, just across the street from Something Wicked, he quickly learns he's gotten more than he bargained for in going up against Gwen. When their professional competition leads to a very personal and very hot kiss, both Wells and Gwen are determined to stay away from each other, convinced the kiss was just a magical fluke. But when a mysterious new coven of witches comes to town and Gwen's powers begin fading, she and Wells must work together to figure out just what these new witches want and how to restore Gwen's magic before it's too late. So I haven't gotten to the part where he actually opens up the shop, but that's the whole point. He moves to the small town Graves Glen to build up the Penhalos name. He opens a shop called Penhalos, and he is now basically competing with Gwen's shop, which is Something Wicked. So I did go to the coffee shop. I got a coffee. It was really good, and I read until page 54, which was pretty good, but I had to go. Now it's 3:10 p.m. and it's late, but I'm gonna keep reading. So I got to the part where they're basically working together, but they're also fake dating. So this would also be a fake dating trope. Like, it's more like an enemies to lovers, grumpy sunshine, fake dating kind of thing. And I love it. So basically what's happening is that there's kind of like a new witch in town, and she is very sus. And like, they don't know why she's there. So now they're trying to figure out why this new witch is in town, because there's something really weird happening. Let's talk about The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. I know my explanations have been a little bit all over the place. I was slowly picking things up. So, okay. First, my overall rating. Don't hate me, but you need to go watch my TikTok, which is linked in the description, to find out my rating. But let's talk about the book. Just know that I loved it. I freaking loved it. I am gonna say it wasn't a 5-star read. That's all I'm gonna say. However, just because it wasn't a 5-star read, it doesn't mean that it wasn't so good. So The Kiss Curse comes after the XX, and this book is about Gwen and Wells. Gwen is Vivi's cousin, Wells is Riz's brother. And basically Gwen is one of the most powerful witches in town, and Wells has lived his entire life in Wells. He decides to come to Gwen's town, and he opens a kind of like a witchcraft shop for tourists. So the first part of this book was a lot of like enemies because Gwen absolutely like despises Wells, and Wells doesn't like despise Gwen, but they are technically enemies because they are rivals from their businesses. And then something happens that they become much more. But at some point, Gwen starts to lose her magic. And that happens 3 separate times where she tried to do magic and she couldn't. And by the end of it, they just knew that something was wrong with her magic and they needed to know what was happening. So there are actually 2 different kind of plot twists to that reason, like what was happening with her magic, but they were so good, honestly. One I kind of saw coming, but the other one I didn't, so that was good. But honestly, it was a fun, good read for Halloween and for overall for the month of October. If you wanted like a really witchy kind of feel, but you get that October feel, that Halloween feel, this is gonna be perfect. It also has a few spicy scenes between obviously Wells and Gwen. Love them so much. I wouldn't say it's the spiciest book ever, but it does have a few spicy scenes, like detailed spicy scenes. I don't know how to explain it, but not like too detailed, but a little bit detailed. That's basically the gist of it, but overall it was a really good read. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I love the main female character. I loved Gwen. She's really funny. I laughed several times. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was, I don't know how long this reading vlog is gonna be, but I'm proud of myself. I read the book in one day and I was able to give you guys a review. So I'm really happy about that. But now I need to go do homework and study. So I'm gonna go do that. I love you guys so much. Make sure to subscribe down below and turn on the notification bell so you get notified when I upload more videos. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.